Hello everyone, I'm Miriam Kalender, third year architecture student at Istanbul Okan University. This term, Professor Halisemi Eryıldız, I took the Urban Environment 2 course from our teacher, and as a result of the criticism of my advisor, Gizem Özyılmaz, I will explain my article about the common features of eco-villages that I have prepared. Afterwards, I will explain the subheadings and interpretation of the ecological dimensions of eco-villages, society in eco-villages, solutions for needs in eco-villages, and examples from eco-villages in the world over the SWOT table. Thank you for listening in advance. In my article, I indicated the parts I added myself in red. Common characteristics of eco-villages. Abstract. Generally speaking, the common component of eco-villages is sustainability, but their lifestyle, worldview, and functioning differ from each other. When we look at successful eco-villages, it is seen that the operation has been well done from the establishment stage and every detail has been designed with meticulous calculations. All living and non-living components that will form the eco-village should be calculated very well with the pre-feasibility studies. If these components work together effectively and benefit each other, the eco-village design will be successful. Besides this, eco-villages may have many different goals and starting points in common. Therefore, we cannot meet a common point, but some features can be guide to how an eco-village should be. For example, having strong common values, mostly ecological, social and spiritual interests, or also starting out with concerns may have goals, such as ecological improvement, strengthening of community life, revitalization of local economies, or deepening spirituality. Keywords: common component of eco-villages, sustainability in eco-villages, lifestyle in eco-villages, ecological improvement, purpose of eco-villages. Introduction. Life in well-designed eco-villages will be healthier, higher quality, enjoyable, and sustainable. Living costs in such eco-villages are much lower. People living herein earn their living by taking part in the works in the eco-village. From this point of view, there is an alternative, sustainable lifestyle that consists of individuals with a high sense of duty. Community awareness is a prominent value in ecological villages, just like environmental responsibility and common culture. Individuals also have rights and priorities. Today, all these concerns in our lives are related to the problems that are constantly felt in the social structure based on consumption, and the communities living in eco-villages are constantly trying to find solutions to these problems with an experimental study. It constantly works on issues such as creating a more human economic system, creating more participatory communication and management systems, establishing more renewable energies, more natural agriculture, and a more holistic education understanding. Some of them are successful and make their models different from the local community or farther away transfers from culture to people. Therefore, it offers different examples of eco-villages from models created on different subjects. Ecological villages generally stay away from the chaos, pollution, competition, and intense consumption in city life. It is established by individuals who want to live in harmony with nature against the offers and impulses of city life. Ecological supports sustainable, autonomous, collective, and productive life, intertwined with nature and emerge as a solution against global economic dependence. In some eco-villages, almost everything is common. Decisions are made with the participation of everyone. This station can slow down the mobility and decision mechanism. In some, common ownership and rights are limited. Common uses are decided by the rules of management. In general, the common feature of eco-villages is sustainability. However, the lifestyle and functioning of people may differ from each other. The understanding of not living, the individual behind the place, and welfare from the community prevails in the eco-villages. Individuals are interested in jobs that match their abilities and preferences. There are no electrical devices in every home or living area. Items such as washing machines, refrigerators are shared. In their use, not chemical containing cleaning materials, but organic components that are equivalent of these are used. Disposal materials are not used in eco-villages. Although not much, the wastes generated are purposed as fertilizer, the purpose or obtained from organic wastes. In eco-villages, instead of money, a barter system or exchange tool developed as an alternative to money is used. Usually, traditional education methods are not used in eco-villages. Alternative eco-villages models are developed. Lifelong education and learning from nature are followed in school. It may be necessary to build the structure in the eco-village with natural and local materials. To choose certain structure and features and design passive solar green roof, well insulated, energy efficient, able to produce their own clean energy from the sun, wind, soil of the eco-village. It is very important that these preferences are compatible with the nature of the eco-village and the basic needs for the people who will live there. Each eco-campus successfully designed according to these criteria creates human networks and friendship that grow after a while. In this photo, an example of an eco-village plan, and this photo, eco-village master plan. Also, this photo, an example of an eco-village, and this photo also. And this is my early part also. Eco-village common diameters. The global eco-village network, which manages the communication of network eco-villages around the world, was established with this understanding. The first steps of GIN were taken by the Jaya Trust, founded by Hilder and Rose Jackson in Denmark. This is how the book Eco-Villages Sustainable Communities, written by the Gilmans in 1991, emerged. This book is known as one of the first works that put the concept of an eco-village in a theoretical framework. In the same year, in the journal In Context published by the Context Institute, Robert Gilman continued his theoretical work on eco-village and determined 5 basic criteria. Gilman emphasized the human scale first. The second criterion, according to Gilman, was that in a true eco-village, human activities should be in harmony with nature. Third, village life had to ensure health, human development. The fourth and fifth criteria were that the established experience could have feature continuity. For this reason, the features and economies of eco-villages should not be limited by strict rules. In recent years, Gilman has also added multi-native centers as a prerequisite to the sustainability of eco-villages. Multi-initiative centers, horizontal business organizations aiming to ensure that life in villages continues with the interaction and people's active participation in production process. And also ecological dimensions of eco-villages. The ecological dimensions of eco-villages express an environmentally sensitive approach. The goal here is to create a truly sustainable campus that can be transferred from generation to generation without being destroyed. For society in eco-villages, it encompasses people's desire to spend more time together, creating an environment that supports the development of individuals, both individually and as part of the group. Solutions for needs in eco-villages. Collection ponds and natural filtration methods are used for water needs. Alternative and natural sources such as solar panels, wind turbines, and biofuels are used for lighting, heating, and other energy needs. Transportation is provided by bicycle or on foot. For long distance, common vehicles or public transportation vehicles are preferred. Natural materials such as straw, stone, and clay are used in the construction of living space. In other words, the structures in the eco-village should be built with natural and local materials, and certain structures and feature and design should be preferred. In this photo, eco-village and wind turbine, and other photo working together in eco-village. In this photo, architectural eco-village design sketch ideas, and other photo aerial sketch. Word eco-village examples. First, Find Her Scotland. As the community website says, the Find Her Foundation is a spiritual community, eco-village, and an international holistic learning center that helps to emerge a new human consciousness and create a positive and sustainable future. And in this photo, Find Her Scotland architecture plan, map of the park, and in this photo, Moray's location in Scotland. Photo. And in this photo, architecture, housing, design of the village, Find Her Scotland. And other photo, Find Her Eco-Village Permaculture Map. And other photo, architecture of the village, Find Her Scotland. And in this photo, Find Her Scotland Society. Tamara, which started with a small group in 1978, is one of Europe's largest and oldest eco-villages. Finally, in 1995, we found a new starting point in Southern Portugal under Dieter Dam and Sabine Lynches. And in this photo, we can see Tamara Portugal architectural plan, and the other photo, we can see architecture of the village, Tamara, Portugal. And the other photo, Tamara, Portugal plan, and the other photo is that Tamara, Portugal Society. And other one, Damanhur, Italy. The Federation of Damanhur, or Damanhur for short, is a common eco-village and spiritual community located on the foothills north of Piedmont, Italy. In this photo, Damanhur, Italy, and other photo, architecture, design, temples of humankind, Damanhur, and these are section of temple, and the other photo is Damanhur, Italy Society. And other example of world eco-villages is Sekhem, Egypt. Sekhem, named after the ancient Egyptian hierarchical meaning vitality, is an eco-village with 4 long-term dimensions for sustainability: culture, ecology, social and economic. Sekhem, Egypt plan, and other photo is that sustainable agriculture at Sekhem. And the other photo is architectural houses of Sekhem, Egypt. And other photo is Sekhem Global Eco-Village Network. And the other important photo is direction map Sekhem, Egypt. And also the other photo is Sekhem's development over the years. And other photo is Sekhem, Egypt buildings and the society. Last example is Auroville, India. Auroville is an international town in the south of India, near the former French colony of Pondictionary, aiming to embody the ideal of human unity. And in this photo, architectural master plan, Auroville. And the other photo is the zones of Auroville as named in the master plan. And the other so important photo is construction stage and Auroville architectural drawings. we can see that. And the other important photo is that area section, and the other one is that Iroquois International Zone, Planning and Development. And I define Iroquois Kindergarten Plan and this Iroquois Foundation chart. And the other photo is Iroquois Planning the City, and the other one is that Iroquois Sustainable Agricultural Renewable Energies People's Participations. And the other photo is Iroquois facade, architecture facade. And the other photo is Iroquois India. And other photo is very important, earth block construction. And the other photo is architectural facade. And these are round amphi, and these are Iroquois society in eco-villages. And other photo is Iroquois India, Iroquois residents meditate, we can see that, and Iroquois plan. And I did all the eco-villages in the SWOT analysis, 4 types: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strays analyze all eco-villages, and this chart is eco-villages from different continents and their general characteristic. For example, community Iroquois, Crystal Waters, Amanhur, and Pinehorn, and these are approximate population and residential and Euro Foundation. And this is very important because this is our global eco-village network map all over the world. And these are my references. And thank you for listening to me. And if there is any question, you can ask me, of course. And this is my phone number and this is my email. Thank you for listening to me.
Hello everyone, my name is Berkay Sönmez. I will talk about the article that I wrote for my Urban Environment and Design 2 class, which is instructed by Halil Semih Yıldız. Eco-village examples. Where should we place eco-villages? We can say that there are 2 types of eco-villages. The first of these are initiatives established from scratch on an empty land, and the other is transition projects that try to transform an existing campus into an eco-village. It is not possible to talk about choosing a place for conversion projects. Solheimer, Iceland. First of all, it is necessary to take a look at the world's leading and well-known successful eco-villages. It is known that the first eco-village initiative in the world is Solheimer Eco-Village in Iceland. But this is actually a transformation project. However, with its successful developments, it is more successful than most of the eco-villages established from scratch. Known as the oldest eco-village in the world, Solheimer's foundation dates back to 30s. In the settlement, where about 100 people live, the development of nature and society together has been adopted as the basic approach. Creating an environment where individuals can live, work, and socialize in order to meet their social needs has been seen as one of the main goals of the community. There is a wide variety of activities available in Solheimer. In the eco-village, there are organic greenhouses and forest areas where vegetables and plants are grown. In addition to there are shops, cafes, bakeries, guest houses, and various artistic activities organized throughout the year. You can see a permaculture garden at Solheimer. Here on the left you can see the plan of Solheimer Eco-Village. Its vision: discrimination against individuals who are differently abled is a historic problem seen around the world, which has led to these individuals to be excluded from participation in society in many cases. Solheimer Eco-Village, a purposeful community in Iceland. is addressing this issue by employing and empowering differently abled artisans and staff. The ideology of Solheimer is a reverse integration, where the community is built up based on the needs of individuals with disabilities and other minorities, and where the able-bodied adapt to their needs. Environmentalism is an important and influential part of daily life in the community and it shapes its development. Solheimer is a global community which receives both short-term and long-term volunteers. Siebenlinden, eco-village in Germany. The reason for the establishment of the German eco-village, Siebenlinden, was to maintain its continuity by leaving a small ecological footprint in its region. Currently, Siebenlinden has a total of 44 hectares of land, including 28 hectares of forest. This, this eco-village is very important about ecological buildings, has achieved significant success. It is aimed to minimize carbon dioxide emissions per capita, while the percentage of the emissions per capita in Germany 26%, it has been determined that in this community it has decreased to 10% for heating and 6% for housing. The community has rapidly increased its population in recent years. Finally, it is seen that the concept of unity in diversity, which is especially prominent in Siebenlinden, is an important feature of conscious community experience. Use of energy from renewable sources. Use of energy from renewable sources. Their goal is to live a life that everybody on Earth can live without harming the Earth. When speaking about energy production, it is mainly for electricity and heat production. Many different solutions enable to reduce the heat needs in Siebenlinden. Support of local economies. The community, through its consumption, intends to support surrounding firms. That is the case with the bread bought by the community. All the bread consumed in the eco-village comes from a closed bakery. This bakery is the only one providing bread produced from ecological ingredients in the region. It was then important for the community to support this bakery instead of producing its own bread. Svanholm, Denmark. The Svanholm community started with an advert in a Danish newspaper on May 7, 1977, with the title Large Co-housing. The advert was placed by two families that wanted to start a working and living community in this countryside together with others. The invitation to create a large co-housing community with shared economy, common dining, consensus-based decision-making, equality between professions, and between women, men, children, and adults created enormous interest, and the first meeting attracted 130 people. Starting out with 150 people and only a few habitable rooms in the former estate owner's residence was a practical challenge. Much effort has been put into renovating buildings, including establishing housing, common areas, and other facilities to accommodate everybody. This development has turned the estate into a modern village, providing amenities for individuals, community, and visitors.
Hi everyone, my name is Fatma Irmakbaş. I am from Muğla. My department is architecture in Okan University. Today I will explain how eco-village emerged and I will explain some example about eco-villages. After the second half of the 20th century, economic developments, cultural and ideological changes, the potential of the working population, the problems of industrialized, socialized have increased the perception and importance of individual to the natural and cultural environment. Changes have also started to be observed in the tendencies towards the different wishes, tastes, and expectations of people with different economic, social, cultural levels. Eco-village settlements, which have developed in the world in recent years and have become widespread in our country in parallel with the have enabled people to take an active role in the social life of the eco-village, to shape and diversify the social mobility, and to create a common use movement for those who want to get away from the daily lifestyle. However, although it's a very new concept, it seems that the studies on eco-village settlement, which increase rapidly, are quite limited. The fact that studies on eco-village are very limited has revealed the need for a search on this job. There is no definitive and common method for creating an eco-village settlement. The establishment story and methods of eco-village settlement are different from each other. The geographical features of the place where it is established and purpose of established vary. And the study is primarily based on Thomas More and Andrew Godin, Charles Fournier, Robert Owen, etc., with the prediction of creating a settlement and society similar to the previous order, starting from the sustainable community utopia from the 18th to the present, deals with the concept used by utopics. These concepts were later added the utopics approach of Robert Gilman and Diana Christian in 21st centuries. This study, which aims to determine the characteristics element of eco-village settlements in the light of the concept defined from the past to the present, is aimed to be guide for eco-village settlements planning. Although the quality of life in industrial countries reached the highest level in 19th century, is the state in the ecological footprints analysis reports worldwide that life on the earth is not sustainable. With the depletion of natural resources, the negative effects of ecological balance on the world life brought up to creation of sustainable common life. In the report of the failed study commissioned by Robert Gilman on the sustainable communities of the Gaia Foundation, founded by the Hilda Ross Jackson couple, eco-villages are described as full-fledged human-scale settlement where human activities are harmoniously integrated with nature, support healthy human development, and continue successfully and without interruption. And you can see some pictures on my work. And here is some definition about eco-villages. Is Caroline Lucas, and the other definition is Gaia Trust, and other definition is Global Eco-Village Network, and the other definition of eco-villages is Bower Kit, and the other one is Hilda Jackson and Karen Stevenson. This people is very important about eco-villages development. And now I will read some information about features of eco-villages. The ideal eco-village model, which are tried to be created under the name of eco-village, aim of offer a new life proposal that will change the negatives that have arisen due to global environment crisis of our age. Eco-village have two important features in their structure. The first is create healthy small communities where people of quality life support each other. The second is the revitalization of traditional community life on the way to sustainable life. The increase in the people's tendencies towards nature, the curiosity to learn about different cultures and lifestyles, the desire to get away from crowded, dirty, noisy, and urban environments, bring settlements sustainable for natural life to agenda. Eco-villages generally aim to establish local economic development, cooperative social economies, and harmonious communities linked together, providing cultural and spiritual diversity, decision making, peaceful conflict resolution, community health, holistic whole human education, local and organic food production, application of permaculture design method, ecological architecture, renewable energy system, waste. They operate in some or all of the subjects such as management, and you can see some development and picture about eco-villages again. And I add a table here. It's about eco-villages name and where is these eco-villages and how many people in there and the date of these eco-villages, and you can see this table. And I add some examples in now Turkey and in the world, but firstly I will explain the SWOT analysis in eco-villages. The strange weakness in eco-villages: sustainability, production, public health, peaceful society, ecological life, slow life, and weak direction, transportation problems, high costs, and population low. Traits, animal trait, this case, too many tourists, and disaster opportunities. Opportunities, new agriculture areas, new production units, conversion of structure and energy production. I think that this SWOT analysis are very important for to understanding eco-villages meaning. And I add here 4 examples in eco-villages, and here is the designer name, here the date of the project, and here is location, and here is SWOT analysis for each these 4 example. And I add here some examples in the world eco-villages examples. The first one is Findhorn, Scotland. And I hear about Findhorn, Scotland types of house. For example, this one is Nature Suntree. And here I add some information about this house, like this, and I add here some the big site area about Findhorn, Scotland. And the second one is Tamaria, Portugal. You can see the pictures in here. And the third one is Damanhur, Italy. Italy, the Federation of Damanhur, or Damanhur for short, is a common eco-village and spiritual community located on the foothills north of Piedmont and Italy. And the third one is Sekhem, Egypt. It's again very important eco-villages in Turkey. Egypt. The fifth one is Arville, India. Arville is really very important. It's international town, and it's Arville was founded in 1968, and more than 200 people from 43 different countries they live in here. And you can see some type of houses and type of development in these pictures. And the sixth one is eco village in Ithaca. Ithaca is very important like the other ones. It's a community of where people trying to find positive solutions of the social, environmental, and economic crisis our planet infecting. This Ithaca designing in 1991 and launched in 1996. Also, it's very, very important, covering an area of 175 acres. It's located focusing on minimizing to eco-village impact. And you can see some sections and some site plans about water pump station in Ithaca. And the seventh eco villages is Ecarele Park Peru, and here is the picture. The eighth one is Govardhan Eco Village in India. Govardhan was established as innovative of ISKCON Kovpati under the guides of spiritual leader Radhant Swami. He is very important person for these people. After living on a commercial farm established by Cyrilia for many years, he envisaged his dream of a farming-based community living in harmony with nature in India, which he hoped would. And the ninth one is Siebenlinden Eco Village. It's in Germany, and the aim of leaving a very small ecological footprint for the region where it will be established have started to work on these subjects. And here you can see some plan for the one floor, and it's the general evaluation for these examples in Findhorn, Ithaca, Arville, and Siebenlinden Eco Village. Here I add some table about the examples about his economical and here some generative table. For example, you can see the location here, the eco villages date here, and how many people in there, like that. And for example, it's about economical type of these eco villages. Here is money type, here is eco tourism type. Yes, this table is very important for the understand eco villages examples, and these four examples.